Hi, hello, and welcome back to hashtag Spill the Beans. I'm Tarapriolo. I am your resident Black biracial multi-passionate musician. I talk about the ish that nobody wants to talk about and push you to do the same. I'm going to talk about that a little bit today. Spill the Beans is a chat that we do sometimes where we talk about everything from activism to music and back again. Whatever comes up. I haven't been here for a second because the world is hard to hold. And that is what we're talking about today. I've talked about it on Droplets. I've talked about it on a podcast riff. I'm sure I've talked about it on Spill the Beans before. But I felt like today was a day that I could come up and talk some more. Grab your drink and come on back. This filter is so cute. And I'm bringing something out. But first, let's talk about what's going on in tarapriolo's studio, okay? I introduced very late in the game, Freedom Fridays, Vocal Liberation for Justice and Joy, which is a very long way of saying, I don't believe that your budget should be a factor in releasing your entanglements. Now, of course, I have voice lessons for sale. I have other things for sale that are full price or sliding scale as needed, okay? But on Freedom Fridays, it's free unless you want to make a donation. The first 30 minutes is always free, but you can come in and you can talk to me about various topics that's in the last post, okay? And this Friday, today, I have a 5, a 5:30, and a 7:15 slot for talking about whatever you want. Next Friday, I'll probably do some masterclasses, so stay tuned to my Substack and my Instagram to find out about what those things are for Freedom Fridays. Okay, so let's get to the topic at hand. You know, I was really inspired by the post from Ascending Arts. I love her posts, and y'all can hear my baby just throwing things in the background. I love a lot of her posts, but that one in particular of not wanting to show up because the world is so heavy and it's so hard to hold. And I felt that. Like, how are we supposed to show up as normal when there are bombs being dropped and there are children being starved and there are children being killed by floods and there are people being killed and there are state-sanctioned murders and there are, detention camps set up and concentration camps in the beginnings and the Supreme Court running wild and all of these things, right? And it feels like so much to hold. It is so much to hold. It is too much for one individual to hold. So what I want to talk about is twofold. Number one, you don't have to hold it alone. You don't have to hold it alone. That's why we have community. And that's why I also believe that we need to get better. I don't know what I just did. I did something with the filter on the side. Anyway, we all can study more and experiment more with how to build and how to, be in community together, right? Community is the answer. It allows us to hold all of these very big, scary, upsetting things without having to take the personal dip for it, right? There is grief. We are in grief. I am in personal grief and I am in global grief. And yet I can continue because I have great community. And the second part that I was reminded of in the Ascending Arts post is something that I've said before, but whatever you're doing, it matters, right? Whether that's art, whether that's music, whether that's teaching, whether that's, bringing one can to a food drive, it matters. There is nothing too small in the fight for humanity. There is nothing too small in the fight of mattering. There is nothing too small in the fight for liberation. And we can remember that in the times that it's hard to hold, or that it seems really dark, or that it seems like nothing will ever be quite right again. Right? It all matters. I put that in my picture this morning on my stories. For those of you that don't know, I'm doing a challenge of posting my face to my stories at least once a day. It all matters. All of it. It matters, big or small. Now, the last part of all of this is part of what I just said, which is, why I've been gone. And I made a post about this. The literal first line of the caption is just the word futile. In my grief, both personal and global, it feels futile to show up here and talk to you. It feels like it is not enough. It feels like the calls that I make, the donations that I make, the conversations that I have, the music that I seek to spread is not enough. That the mission of blackening the canon, that the albums are not enough. You're okay, baby. That they're not enough. But it matters. All of it matters. And that is why I'm showing up in my stories now. That is why I'm doing the spill the beans now. Do I want what I say I want? And do I believe what I say I believe? I believe that the world is going to be healed with joy as a revolution. I believe that the world is going to be healed through conversation about the easy stuff and the hard stuff. And leaders go first. If I'm not willing to be here and have the conversation with you, then am I doing what I say I believe in? Right? I look forward to hearing your thoughts and continuing the conversation. Continue to be anti-racist, be safe, wear a mask, make good trouble, do good work. I love y'all hardcore. Joy. Yes, joy is our revolution. Step into it, belong to it, and walk in it today. I'll see you next time.